Hello everyone, what's up? So today I'm very excited to produce my very first recorded video for 2022. So I kind of appreciate you guys watching the lawn videos, but I think that's not what you want for me. You guys all miss all the tarantula videos, especially the feeding videos. I know one person is really eager to watch them. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be posting today and later this week the Arachnotour video. So this is pretty much going to give you an update, 2022 update of all the tarantulas I currently own. A lot of people, because due to my absence, seem to think that I stopped collecting tarantulas and I kind of lost my passion, but no, I spent quite a bit of money updating my collection. I got much more pokies than I did over the last few years. So sit back, grab a pack of popcorn. This weekend I'm slowly going to start to record the feeding video, and that's going to be sweet. So today we're going to show you just the old world species. So the old world species are tarantulas that reside anywhere but in the 3 American continents, well, kind of 2. So basically Asia, Europe, which I don't really have any tarantulas from Europe, as well as Australia, and yeah, and Africa. Cannot forget Africa. So with that said, I'm going to put timestamps in the description below, so that way you can see your favorite tarantula, if you have any. Let me know in your comments, what's your favorite old world species? Mine are the pokies. Okay, so the very first tarantula that I'm going to share with you is a very nice female Monocentropus balfouri, which is the Socotra Island blue-legged baboon, which in my opinion is a really nice tarantula. Used to be expensive back 8 years ago. Now it's starting to become a lot more affordable and cheaper. So I purchased this female for, I believe it was around 200 Canadian dollars. Little small female. And then I have a larger female that I got from one of my closest YouTubers. So you can see this is an adult female. The one I got from T-Soy Spiders, I got back in 2012, unfortunately had passed away. So this is what a Monocentropus balfouri looks like as an adult female. So typically they get around 4.5 to 5 inches. Oh, this is actually pretty neat. So this is kind of rare. You don't really get to see bald spots in old worlds, but as you can see, she has a very dark bald spot. So this means that she is going to be pre-molt. Well, she actually is in pre-molt. She's going to be molting soon. And you kind of actually tell whether or not this balfouri is in pre-molt just by looking at its legs. They're kind of very darkish black in color when it should be a bright blue. I know I'm using artificial light and the colors are really popping, but I really like the species, especially as adult females, because it kind of looks like a cobalt blue, but unlike a cobalt blue, balfouri can actually be a lot more visible. So she's very, very nice and I enjoy her. Okay, so the next 2 tarantulas, well, one of them isn't mine, one is mine. So an even prettier species from Africa is this particular spider. So you're looking at Jaffe's exotics, formerly known as Reptile Boy 91. Mature male Harpactira pulchripes, which is the golden blue-legged baboon. So he's mature. You can actually tell that he is mature by looking at his tibial hooks and his bulbous palps. Now, he was mated back in November of 2021, but unfortunately, the mating wasn't a success. Well, the mating was a success, but actually she molted, the female, and she's actually gorgeous. So I'm feeding her crazy ton because I want to be mating them this coming Thursday. So you're going to see that video. So I just want to show you what she looks like. She is an adult female, around 5 inches, and she's absolutely pretty. But this is my specimen. So you can see that she has a plump abdomen, which is good because that's the reason why I'm power feeding her. So the male doesn't become her next lunch menu. I don't want him to do that. But anyways, a very, very pretty tarantula. This is the max size, around 4.5 to 5 inches. Typically, these are, like the balfouri, are starting to become a lot more cheaper. I bought this particular female from Tarantula Canada for about $350. So back, what I think was it 3 or 4 years ago, a specimen like this was around $500 to $600. So now that with more breeding, this tarantula is starting to become more readily available to us. And that's my Harpactira pulchripes, golden blue-leg baboon. It's the largest HP that I've owned, and this is also one of my favorite baboons. Again, kind of like your Cyriopagopus lividus, the cobalt blue with the electric blue legs, but very visible and webs the ton of the enclosure. So definitely a must-have in your collection. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to feed this particular tarantula. This is a pet hole of mine, but it's actually really, really gorgeous species. So this is called the Cobalt Blue tarantula. The scientific name is Cyriopagopus lividus, formerly Lampropelma lividum. So is she doing a threat posture? Oh, there we go. She's eating. Anyways, it's a really awesome tarantula. This is definitely a very classic spider in the hobby that you as a tarantula owner should at least own at least once in your lifetime. A really cool spider that gets up to 5 inches. The temperament of these guys are downright nasty compared to the Harpactira pulchripes and the Monocentropus balfouri. So it's very likely that if you try to mess with them or her, they will bite you. So like the balfouri and the pulchripes, they have electric blue legs. So typically it's a spider that's not for everyone, for sure, because of their fast movement, their potency, and the fact that, you know, it's a really, really not a great visible tarantula. It's still one to own because of its beauty. Alright, so I'm going to leave this one alone because you don't want to mess with cobalts. But a really cool tarantula, definitely, again, must own tarantula, a classic tarantula in the hobby, especially if you're getting to old worlds. Okay, so here I have a female Chilobrachys guangxiensis, which is known as the Chinese fawn tarantula. In my opinion, this is my favorite of the Chilobrachys genus, next to the Fimbriatus, which is the Indian violet, simply because of their ability to web the enclosure. They're most of the time very visible, and they're rather large. So these guys are the larger of the genus Chilobrachys, next to the quinquestriatus. So this female is around like the 5-inch mark. Super well eater, and you can see this particular female likes to web her enclosure, which is really cool if you're starting to own tarantulas. Definitely not recommended for your first time spider because of its very potent and defensive nature, and also they're really, really fast too. But also they're really, really strong eaters. So I'll give you a demonstration of how well they eat. So that's one of the females. You see that? Boom. Really, really cool. And this is my second one. I got them as 3 inches. Now they're doing super well. Here's another one. It's around the same size, getting larger and larger. Very fast growing species. There we go. Really, really cool. Okay, so unfortunately, this is all that I have with terrestrial species that are old world. I don't really I'm not really keen on keeping too many old world terrestrials, simply because of the fact that you don't really see them often. So unfortunately, I don't have an OBT to show you anymore, because the larger female that I got from Tarantula chani had unfortunately passed away. So yeah, so that's all my old world terrestrials. Hope you like them. Oh, I definitely forgot to show you this one. This one here is my sexed female king baboon, formerly known as Cyriopagopus crochet. Now it's called Pelinobius muticus. Really cool species. This is actually really interesting. That these are one of the few old world tarantulas that go really, really slow, kind of like a Grammostola or a Brachypelma. So if you buy these guys, expect them to grow really slowly. So this particular female I purchased as a 2-inch in, I'm going to say 2017. So she probably maybe grew about an inch or two. Now I would say a good inch. So she's still a sling, but they get massive. They get around 9 inches. And the characteristic feature of your king baboon is the fact that their hind legs will start to become very beefy, so which is really cool. So they are one of the heaviest tarantulas, and matings are generally result in the male dying instantly, because just the female's weight crushes him. But definitely really cool, because they have the ability to hiss. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to upset my spiders, but there we go. And this is all that I have left to show you with my old world terrestrials. Now I'm going to show you my arboreals. Okay, so this is not a tarantula. This is the scorpion. This is the only scorpion I have in my collection. Unfortunately, I lost my Pandinus imperator, the emperor scorpion. I had that guy for quite a few years. So this one here is called the Death Stalker scorpion. Now, a really cool and ultra high venomous scorpion to own. Definitely not one to touch, because these guys readily sting, and you can tell by their pedipalps, which are their claws. They're quite thin compared to the thick nature of the emperor genus. So these guys are mighty potent, but incredible eaters, and these guys most readily will sting their prey. So this is about, I would say, a good 2.5, maybe 3-inch specimen. I don't believe they get bigger than that, but really cool, and one of my favorites. There we go. You can see their leg marks all over. Really cool. I love the scorpion. Okay guys, so the next tarantulas I'm going to share with you are my old world arboreals. Now I have a lot of those old world arboreals because I think they're really interesting, and I have a very soft spot for a particular genus known as the Poecilotheria, aka the pokies. So you're going to see all the pokies I have. I got new ones, especially just got one just today. So I am super excited to show you guys, and I have another one coming this Friday, which you're likely going to see in the feeding video, so it's not going to appear on this particular vid. So with that said, hope you enjoy. So I'm going to start with this shelf here. This shelf, I only have 2 arboreals that are old world. This one will be in another video. Whoops. Yeah, you can't see, it's pretty dark. That's a Cambridge eye, which I'm going to show you next time. So in here, I don't really like to show you this one because it's pretty nasty tempered, and I almost got bit by this species trying to give it water. But anyway, you don't really see this one very much. I only saw it maybe in the last year. I saw it maybe like 4 or 5 times max. This is a very heavy burrowing species, but really cool and really large. This is the Lampropelma violaceopes, which is commonly called the Singapore Blue. Now, it's probably stuck way down in its hole, but a really, really interesting species. Kind of looks like a Cobalt Blue version, but giant and meaner, if you could catch my drift. Okay, so for this species here, this is actually a tarantula that's very dear to me. So when I started collecting back in 1996, I collected tarantulas during my high school years until I graduated in 2001. Then I kind of stopped collecting. Then when YouTube surfaced in 2005, I kind of joined in 2006 and recorded videos the following year. And this one here is a Poecilotheria regalis, the Indian ornamental. So I got this little girl from Tarantula, Canada. So unfortunately, you know, like I was really gutted when Zelda passed away. Zelda was my former regalis that I've actually bred for the first time in my life, and I was successful with it. So anyways, Pandora was very dear to my heart because she was actually the very first tarantula that I bought in 2007 that kind of inspired me to make videos of her. So this is why you see her on the channel icon of my videos. I don't change it because she really meant a lot to me. So here this one is, call her Pandora the Second. Little female. You can tell it's a regalis by its underside. It has a clear leg like it's wearing a belt. Really cool specimen. She's about 4 inches, so she's halfway done. She is in a, let's see, 10-gallon tank flipped on its side. And I kept some. I really make the enclosure look really nice for her. Usually I don't tend to do it often, but since this is one of my all-time favorite pokies, and especially the inspiration on my YouTube channel, this is why I spiced her up a little bit. So that's her. Okay, this impressive girl is Marina. She is my, I would say, 4.5-inch Heteroscodra maculata, which is the Togo Starburst Baboon. Really cool African arboreal. Especially love the colors from the family Stromatopelmanae. So the closest relative to this one is also called the Stromatopelma calceatum, which is the feather-leg baboon, which unfortunately I don't have one. But really, really nice spider. Loves to eat too. So I'll give a sneak peek of her feeding. So I'm gonna make your guys' video worthwhile. Boom! There we go. I love it. Oh god, it's so good to be back on YouTube making these videos. It's so enjoyable to see tarantulas eat. She's very healthy too. I love her. Okay, so this is a species I got for my birthday from me. This one here is a 4.5-inch female Poecilotheria hanumavilasumica, which is the Rameshwaram Ornamental. So I got this particular female from Tarantula, Canada. So the story goes is that she had a whole bunch of female pokies for sale. And since I'm working with 2 jobs at school and as my lawn care, so I decided to, you know, save up the funds and slowly buy them all. So there we go. So just to show you guys that I'm still back in and loving tarantulas. Really, really cool species. A little bit slightly different than the regalis because they don't have the bands and they have slightly different leg markings. If you check Mythbuster video 23, I made a detailed video of showing the differences between the species, especially the ones that look very similar, like the striata, the Mysore Ornamental, which is much more darker in the carapace, the Vittata, which is the more white, which is commonly called why it's called the Ghost Ornamental. The regalis is really easy to tell apart because of the abdominal bandits, which is clear, and the fasciata, which has slightly different markings on the abdomen. So there we go. That's the Poecilotheria hanumavilasumica Rameshwaram Ornamental. Alrighty, so this one here is a Poecilotheria metallica. This is the Gooty Sapphire Ornamental. So you've probably seen this one in videos of last year and the year before. This is the same female metallica that I have. She recently molted. She's around close to the 3-inch mark. Really cool. Definitely a very photosynthetic spider. So you don't want to shine them too much on light because they get really nervous. But in my opinion, these are one of the more calmer species. But some specimens vary. I remember when I had Mia, my former metallica, she was really calm. Not that I advise you handling pokies, but there was a video of my friend Chad handling her, and I miss her dearly, but she passed away due to old age. And now I have this particular female, which she's not very defensive, but she's super shy and super fast. So that's her. The next one, this is the last tarantula that I bought in 2021 as a nice Christmas present. This one here is a Poecilotheria ornata, which is the fringed ornamental. A really nice tarantula. Very different compared to the regalis, which are commonly called the white pokies. They have a lot of brownish and green tinge to them, kind of like the rufulata. But like the rufulata, these guys get up to about having a 10-inch leg span. So really interesting that I have an ornata back in my collection. This one is a confirmed female that I got from Tarantula Canada, and not much to say with her. She freshly molted not too long after I bought her, and super great eater, which you're going to see in the feeding video. I don't want to show too much in the feeding video because I want them to have a nice feeding response. Alright, this one is quite a large pokey. This one here is a Poecilotheria smithii, which is the yellow-backed ornamental. And you really can't see her very well, but I could try to sex this one because it's on the open. I suspect that this one is female. So you can see that these guys have a little more yellowish tinge compared to the standard white pokey. In my opinion, they're kind of shy, but not very defensive pokes. So max size of these guys are typically like regalis. They get up to having an 8-inch leg span. So this particular likely sex female is around the 4.5 to 5-inch mark. So a little bit more growing to do, but she's really cool. So she is a freshie. Okay, so this another pokey here is also another smithii. This one is a confirmed female that I bought from Tangled in Webs from Dawn. Really cool person to deal with. Quite an active one. This guy got a rehouse. Here is a third smithii. So I have sneaking suspicion that this could be a male. If that's the case, that's great. And I have, yeah, it's another P-smithii. So these two I got a rehouse. So I'm going to be recording that likely after the feeding video. So I don't want to open too much of their enclosure because don't want them to dart. Okay, so if I were to compare, this one is a confirmed female that was sexed by Dawn. Her folio stripe, which is the back end of the pokey, the white pattern, as you can see, it's kind of brightish. Now I have sneaking suspicion that this little smithy, or this juvenile, could as well be a female, but I'm not 100% sure. And I have a suspicion that this one may be male, because it gets in a little darker. But anyways, it's really too young to sex. Alright, so this one here, as you can see, the folio stripe on this particular one, it's darker. And I kind of had a look at the ventral shot of the abdomen, and I did not see a epigastric furrow, which raises my suspicions that this could be a male. But anyways, that's fine, because I have a male and a female. So there we go. Poecilotheria smithy, yellow-backed ornamental. Okay, these guys need a rehouse. I just got them not too long ago. These are Poecilotheria vittata, commonly called the ghost ornamental, very similar to the regalis, except it doesn't have the yellow warning legs as the regalis does. They have the white legs underside, so this is why they call it the ghost ornamental. Commonly called also the Pedersens. So this guy has a very dark folio stripe, so I have a sneaking suspicion that this could be a male. It's over here, and you could tell when male pokies tend to age, they tend to become more brown than they do white. So it's very possible that within the next 1 or 2 molts, he actually may mature out. And this is my other vittata. Which also is a little bit younger than this one here, so he or she needs a molt to sex. Okay, so the last tarantula, I just picked this up today. I braved through minus 38 degree weather to pick this one up after my day of teaching. A nice day of reward is a Poecilotheria tigrina wesselli, commonly called the Wessel Tiger Ornamental. She is close to the 4-inch mark, and she is drop dead gorgeous. Really cool, and a really distinct pokey by the beige and black color and a different abdominal pattern. Now, as soon as I opened up her enclosure, she came flying down and in my bed. So the reason I had to do to get her is actually to take a cup and start to blow on her until she fell down and I cupped her. So there we go. So guys, that is my collection of all of the old world tarantulas, both arboreal and terrestrial. So guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what is your favorite old world in the video that you saw, and comment on which is your favorite one. So the next video is probably going to come out on let's see, I'll probably record on Thursday, and Friday is the new worlds, and boy, do I have quite a few of them. Especially you're going to get to see the new Brachypelmas that I have that are really nice and huge. So anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.